The housing market continues to cool off, but how cold will it get? Hey everybody, Scott Walters, welcome into the channel. If you're new, I want to thank you for coming. If you're returning, I want to thank you for your continued support. Before we get into today's red hot topic, I'm going to politely ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment below. I would love to hear from you. Please watch to the end for my final thought. Hit the bell icon so you're notified when new videos are released. It is very important to stay close to the channel in these very tricky times. I almost came up for air during the introductions. Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing great. What a wild ride we've been having lately with the investment markets. This is insanity. The stock market has been like a yo-yo, up, down. Cryptocurrencies are completely, so like we've all, should be no shock there, completely volatile. Many people getting caught with their pants down with cryptocurrencies. It's just been a complete and utter insanity. I think a lot of us, and today we're going to do a temperature check and heat map a little bit of the housing market because I know that's what a lot of us are interested in. I know I certainly am. Is one of the things that we're seeing is just like this feeling of when's the other shoe going to drop? We watched the stock market like last week. The end of the trading day on Friday, it just all of a sudden everything just went in the tank and started turning red. The stock market is completely volatile. You just kind of get this feeling like, when's the other shoe gonna drop? And again, I love there's so much great content creators out there. There's a lot out there. There's a lot of people that are very young though that have never lived firsthand through a housing recession or a downturn. They don't know what it's like to lose a house. They're just completely caught up in this euphoria, completely a slave to their investments and to their money. And while I think aiming high and setting goals is paramount, it's what we all should be doing. We also do not want to become a debt slave. We do not want to be trading on margin. We do not want to be tied to money. We do not want to be greedy. Money cannot buy us happiness. It can make us comfortable, but it cannot buy us happiness. As somebody who set foot on multi-million-dollar properties, which we'll be talking about here in a second, I can't tell you how many ultra wealthy homes I've stepped into, and I could instantly tell that there was something wrong in those homes. Disarray, dysfunction. Money is a double-edged sword. A lot of times we put all this pressure to accumulate wealth. We finally accumulate it and we're not happy, and that is a desperate place. Very important to learn how to be happy right now, no matter where you're at. Then anything that comes after that, you will absolutely appreciate much more. So one of the things that we're dealing with now is the cool down. I've been reporting on this for a while now, that when we got to winter, Christmas time, which is fastly approaching us, we could see some significant market shifts. We could see some issues with our economy. Like I always say, this is the real estate channel, but this is much bigger than real estate. And so one of the things that we are seeing, we know inflation now has reared its ugly head. When I first started reporting on real estate, we hadn't dealt with that yet. I warned this was something that was coming. It's come, it's here. I think a lot of us now are starting to get a little reality check and maybe tightening our belts a little bit and not spending as freely as we were maybe a couple months ago, which in my humble opinion is a good thing. It is time to tighten the belt a little bit. I always say insulate yourself with cash for the crash, for a rainy day, whatever, insulate yourself. And we're seeing a lot of big time investors now doing exactly that, selling off their stocks, insulating themselves with tons and tons of cash, basically hoarding it. Something's up, something's going on. The other shoe quite possibly could drop. So one of the things you have to know, folks, right here in Southern California where I'm selling real estate, the market is absolute insanity. Like I rarely share numbers about the type of sales that I'm doing because I don't want to come off as grandstanding or bragging. I really don't like when I see agents out there promoting themselves grandstanding in this euphoric market, because I really feel like a 10-year-old could get a property sold in this current real estate market. Well, a cool down is now certainly taken place, it might take a 13 or a 14-year-old to sell a house, but the reality is it's still very much a seller's market, but a cool off has happened. We're seeing much less activity in terms of the amount of offers, how long properties will stay on the market, where before it was just stuff was going off left and right so fast. And now we're seeing stuff stuck on the market, price reductions, people tapping out, wealthy selling off property. We're seeing a lot of market shifts. And I always say you got to pay attention to these market shifts. And like I started to talk about other content creators that maybe haven't lived through a downturn, that only know this market, the numbers, the analytics, the data itself will not tell the whole picture. This is, like I've said many times, is more of the psychology of people, contagion, the psychology of sales, fear. All these things will basically shift the market. The data alone will not tell the whole story. It will not tell us enough. We have to understand people and how they work. And right now we're seeing a cool off. So like I said, in my city where I live, with a population of roughly 100,000 people, this is a great city of wealth, a lot of rich, famous movie stars. They're all here in this city. What we saw, I think, was October sales here were hovering around the average sale price. About $3 million was our average sale price here in this city. November last month, it was just around $2 million for our average sale price. And while that is still extremely high, I'm the first to admit it, I think it is ridiculous what prices are doing. That is about a 33% drop in sales price in a month. And we just saw what the stock market did overnight. And while it's rallying right now, we basically see how volatile it is. It just is a minute by minute play right now. Like every time you look, if you're watching stocks, you just are expecting at any given moment, it's going to start tanking again or go red or just whatever, something's going to happen. So with the real estate market, like I've said before, is everything hinges on real estate. If the real estate market tanks, the stock market will tank shortly after. The stock market can tank and the real estate market can remain strong for a while. Eventually, if the stock market tanks, and it really tanks, and when it probably will, and when it does, eventually it will drag real estate in and along for the ride, but it doesn't happen overnight. It will take a while because real estate transactions take so much longer to execute than the selling or buying of a stock. So not only are we dealing with here, and this is a euphoric market I'm in, and I know other markets where I'm at are doing the exact same thing. There's a lot of markets that virtually didn't really do a lot in terms of appreciation or depreciation, but a trickle-down effect in today's modern digital climate that we live in, I wouldn't be surprised if those areas become more susceptible to maybe feeling some of those things than they would have in the past. So don't think that everybody's out of the woods. I don't think anybody's safe at this time. So not only have we seen here in my area a reduction in sale price, significant, 33%. It means people are less willing to spend ridiculous amounts of money. They're shrinking back, like we've talked about. They're tightening their belts. And so the other thing that we're seeing is a lot of cool down in terms of the amount of sales. So we've talked about the sales price here in my area, which is going to be the case for many areas, actually going down. The actual amount of sales. Back in October in my area, we had maybe 225 sales for the month. And then in November, we had about 125 sales, almost, again, about a 40% decline in the amount of sales that took place. And this, again, this is in a red hot, euphoric Southern California market full of wealth. A lot of wealthy people have clearly changed their mindset. So folks, in final thoughts today, I just want to continue to heat map and temperature check what's going on for you, my viewers, as I really, really do want to see you succeed. I want you to be aware of what's really going on out here and not simply with bubblegum content creators that are watering down what's actually going on out there, or mainstream media or big government narratives. I really want you to understand this is some serious times we're in. This is the time to really play it safe, understand what's going on exactly out here in the world. And so as we move forward, it is so important to just continue to stay close, hopefully to the channel with somebody who's giving it to you and giving it to you straight, not sugarcoating it, giving you what I believe is sound advice of just please, please, please don't take on new debt. Don't take on new leverage. Be careful when buying right now. If you buy, just be very, very careful. My anticipation is we're going to see this cool down continue to cool. I believe there's a good chance we're going to see some crazy market shifts in the market. So stay tuned, folks. Again, I hope, I love all you guys. I really appreciate it. Quick shout out to, and I know I have a lot of viewers from all over the world. Canada is going through an incredible situation with their housing market. Market Mania Canada. Give them a search on YouTube. I found this guy, young guy, new channel. He's actually giving it to you and giving it to you guys straight. It reminds me a little bit of a younger version of me. So go give him a watch if you would like. I appreciate you all checking in today. Go make it count. We'll see you on the next video.